Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Arknights reaction, and today we have ATO Battle Theme 2. Everyone wanted me to get to this one after Battle Theme 1, so of course that's what we're going to be doing today. I don't know how different they're going to be. They might be very similar, but a lot of people wanted this one, and I mean a lot, so I assume it's arguably better than the first one, but that seems like I'm getting the cart before the horse, so I'm just going to listen to it first and see what my opinion is. So without further ado, let's go! Hey, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's different. Oh. Woo. Oh, that's sick. It's got more like a city punk sort of feel to it. Man, I did not anticipate the genre shift to be like that aggressive. Ooh, a shift. So much chiptune on the channel lately. I'm not mad about it at all. So that's got to be like the third or fourth song this week. I appreciate the vocal chopping too. It almost it reminds me of Parappa the Rappa a little bit, not gonna lie. Just the way that the vocal chops are. You know, more accurately, Animal Crossing. Yeah, now I'm thinking about it, it really sounds like Isabel went off and became a punk rock singer. This is a really well done song. Oh, it's just gonna fade out. Okay, I mean, that makes sense, but oh man, I wanted more of that. Almost 3 minutes, and I want more of it. I can't believe it took me this long to think of Friday Night Funkin'. That's what it reminds me of. I mean, it still definitely stands true that it reminds me of Animal Crossing in a way, just due to how the vocals are done. I think Parappa the Rappa was a completely wrong call at this point. I think that those two are much closer. It also has a little bit of like a Splatoon energy to it, but mostly in just the composition itself, not so much the vocals. The vocals are definitely different, but they don't really have that Splatoon like warbliness to them. To me, that's the Splatoon vocal. This is much more Friday Night Funkin' style in that regard, but compositionally, I could definitely be persuaded to think, oh, this might be from the same team or one of the many teams that did music for Splatoon if I didn't know better. I don't really know better, but I don't think it is either. All that aside though, this was really fun. I truly did not anticipate the genre switch up in here. I thought it was going to be at best pretty similar to the other one, but this is a completely different tonal shift to everything that we had already heard. So I don't know why they would do that unless it's for a different style of fight. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, if the other song sounded the way it did, that would be kind of what I would think would be the baseline for their fighting music, but this one feels like it would be for something more significant, like a boss or a mini boss or something. I don't know though, they only ever say battle theme 1 and 2, so that could really be anything. Maybe they're completely interchangeable. Either way though, like, this is a completely different sound with a completely different goal in mind. Like, I love the energy of this one. It's a lot more like high stakes, I would say, but I also don't know exactly why that would be if it wasn't used for something like a mini boss. But I really do love this electro street funk. It's kind of nostalgic in a way. That chiptune definitely helps in there. At the same time, it's still very modern in how it's written. And I wouldn't say too modern though. I wouldn't say like within the last decade. I would say like early 2000s, mid 2000s sort of modern, like especially video game music. Like a lot of the chord progressions in here, for example, sound a lot like the stuff that Sonic games had in that era. Basically everything from like 99 to like 2008 or so had this sound to their soundtracks, and I think that that was probably very intentional. Same thing with including the chiptune stuff. They're trying to go specifically for that vibe while trying to keep that like electro aesthetic that the other songs had, also trying to crank that dial to something a little bit different, a little bit more lively, and maybe a little bit more energetic in that way. The other ones are definitely in their own way energetic and pumpy, but this has a little bit more of that grit to it. Like I said, that like electro punk sort of feel. It's not nearly as like EDM centric as those other songs are. This is a lot more of like that punk street sound. So it's a nice sound. I really am confused though why these sound so different yet still the same. Like obviously they're kind of cut from the same cloth. Like I said, musically they have similar inspirations. One is just a little bit more punk than the other, and that's totally like where the separation is. But at the same time, they're so vastly different in their goal as a song. The other one is a lot more pumpy. Like I said, it's got a little bit more of like a solid rhythm to it that is just constant and going. It is unrelenting in that way. It's energetic, but also it's not something that's cranking the dial to 11 to make you like have that adrenaline high. This song is doing that. So that's why I'm like confused with it being just battle theme 1 and 2 and not having the context of why the two separate themes would exist and be this different. Maybe they are for completely different types of fights. Maybe the first one is the standard battle theme, and maybe this one is for other things or specialty like side missions, something like that. Just some special type of fight. A problem does land for me here though, because like while it is interesting to hear these separations, I don't know what else to say about this song. It's good, you know, like I'm starting to lose the ability to separate these things at this point, where like I can definitely tell that there are completely different sounds. The first one, entirely different energy from this one, but they're both battle themes. So like what else am I supposed to add to this one other than my assumption that I've already put forward? Like production wise, it's good. Everything was mixed well. I like the chiptune section in there, but I've talked about that so many times this week that I feel like I would just be stepping over the exact same talking points I've already had 3 other videos on. So it's like, what else do I say about it, you know? I basically gave like a history lesson in my last Reverse 1999 video about how chiptune like had such an impact in the music scene when it came around. But I've also had other videos where I've mentioned just square waves in general and how that sound font basically became synonymous with certain music types and why it's so popular and why it's so flexible. I've literally talked through it all, so I'm kind of losing the steam to talk about this more, I'll be real with you. So I guess if you want to hear me yap about that sort of thing more, I would say go watch those videos if you haven't, just because again I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. This is usually why I like to listen to different games and different music every single day, but when I just coincidentally had like 3 or 4 different songs that all had very similar like tonal motifs to them, I'm starting to get kind of lost on what else to add to that instead of just regurgitating the same information day after day, which is just sad. So I'm going to point you to those videos if you want to learn more about that. And I suppose because of that, I don't really have more to say about this one, which in a way is kind of a good thing that I'm able to explain stuff and then point you guys to other stuff that I've talked about so you can get more context. But also it's a bummer for people who just want to watch the one set of videos, like just my Arknights videos, not all the other stuff, because this happens sometimes. This has happened with other things in the past too. It's just not specifically Arknights, and it's just weird when it happens. But again, I'm just going to point you guys to those videos if you want to watch those. Have fun with it. I really don't have much else to add on this one aside from that, and I suppose that's about all I've got for this one because of that. So thank you all so very much for watching. Sorry if that was a little bit disappointing, but if you have something else you want me to get to from Arknights, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!